The Italian SuperLega men's this year has been nuts. If you look at the standings, it has been absolutely ridiculous. Perugia and then everyone else. And this weekend was the most unhinged weekend, not only of the season, but that I have ever seen in men's Superlega volleyball. This is not a league that's known for its parity, but that's all we got this weekend. All we got. Let's kick it off on Saturday. Now, Rob, when we talked about this matchup last week, we knew that there was a potential in this one. Verona started as both your and I's as one of our favorites. Hey, they could maybe upend the owner or the order, right? They've got a 7-footer on the right side. They've got a scoring champ on the left side. They've got one of the most dynamic offensive talents in the Nomuri Keita also on the left side. You've got Gord Perrin there, but they have done nothing but stink since those first few weeks.
That's
and
true.
it came down to this week's match where they got three-donged by Toronto without Tommaso Stefani, who came out in the first set after scoring only 1 point. Yes, Oleg Antonov did make it look like he was 2014 out there, and he was huge with 18 points. Yes, EFL, Eric Effin Lepke was on his game again. He only scored 14, but he had like a 60% hitting percentage, and his efficiency was super efficient. But man, what is Verona doing out there? We saw Bernardi go down a couple weeks ago. Is Stoichev? Stoichev has to be the next. There's no other coach where like Thomas Jayski is on the record saying that he's the worst coach he's ever played for. Like Osmani Guantajeno, when he signed with Lube, had one clause in his contract that Stoichev could not coach for this team. How is this guy still in the Superlega? Like, what is going on? Like what are we doing out here? Verona is in a free fall because of this. They are now out of the playoff picture. Oh no.
They're
out of the playoff picture. But man, an absolutely massive win for Toronto this week to put them up. Well, they thought they put themselves out of the relegation window, but we'll get to that a little bit later. But still, Verona is in an absolute free ball. They need to learn out how to pass the ball. Rock Mozic is getting ready to sign somewhere else because it is not going good in Verona. That was the first one. That one, we even kind of talked about it. We could have predicted. Move on to the next one. The first game on Sunday morning. This one was pure beauty to my eyes. It's the second win for Monza over Lube Civitanova this year, and it was a Canadian domination. First and foremost, our favorite Ronnie Cuban Spike, the wannabe by Stephen Marr, was out there and scored 26 points, ripped 4 aces, including 3 to win the match. He was absolutely unreal. On the other side, Lube looked bad. They're still young, but man, like what is going on with this Lube team? You've got Gabby Garcia Fernandez, who's leading the team in scoring, but at a 30% efficiency, that's not going to be good enough. And on the other side of the net, we talked about Canadian domination. Arthur Schwartz was out there, 10 for 22 and 13 points. That's like almost 40 points to the two Canadians on Monza. With that win and with the Verona loss, Monza moves up into 8th place right now. Absolutely massive. Lube is in a free fall. I don't know what to make of this team. Yes, they're the only team to take Perugia to 5 sets this season, but other than that, they've been lukewarm at best. Them defending their title is going to be an absolute stretch. Next, let's move on to Modena versus Milano. Now, Modena, we're going to talk about them a lot this show, and not in the good light. This is not going to be a good episode if you're a Modena fan. 3-1 for Milano. Now, first and foremost, I think Milano has figured it out. I think that outside trio of Melgarejo, Ishikawa, and Patry, they're making Pablo Porro look good. You know how hard that is to do? You're making Pablo Porro look good, and you're making me wish that we had a Badapur middle. Milano's unreal at the net. 21 team blocks.
That's ridiculous.
Say it with me. 21 team blocks. That's disgusting.
Crazy. 7 for Lozère. Amazing.
7 for Lozère. Absolutely just unreal. Milano, they're making me believe. They beat Lube in the Italian Cup recently. They're undefeated in the year of 2023. This is the team that, was kind of hot and cold in 2022. So far in 2023, it's looking pretty good. Then we move over to Trentino versus Cisterna, which, to be honest, I don't know what to make of this Cisterna team. They're hot and they're cold. They're good and they're bad. It's like a Katy Perry song out there. I really don't know what is going on. Peter Durlich, 37 points. That's a season high in the SuperLega. He set the record. 60 attempts, but still 34 for 60.
That's amazing.
That's pretty damn nasty.
Amazing.
That F.A. Byram, he's coming back, looking pretty good out there. He was 14 for 26 for 16 points as well. And I mean, it's not like Trentino didn't have a good game as well. Micheletto dropped 27. But man, it's one, this Cisterna team, it to me, they're kind of like a freight train. They take a little bit time to get going, but once they're going, they're just chugging along. And when they have that momentum, with Peter Durlich has that momentum, you got the team playing around them like that, they can cause serious damage. This is the first time they've upset a team this year. Trentino did have a little bit of struggles. Matej Kaczynski, 4 for 16. He had like a 2% efficiency. It was really, really bad. Oh, there's one stat that I did forget to talk about in the Modena versus Milano game. This may have to be the worst game I've ever seen from Ervin Ingapeth. He was a minus 231 efficiency on this day. Minus 231. He had like 7 errors and got blocked 8 times. It was a bad day for Ingapeth. And let's just be honest, it was a bad day all around. I'm starting to question. Rob, last week I sent you a list of like my top 10 setters to make a video about it. I think I might have to drop Bruno down some more based off of what I've seen over the past couple of weeks, because it has not been good. But we talk about all these games and all of these. One stands at the top for me, and that is Siena keeping their relegation or not getting relegation hopes alive by taking Piacenza. Piacenza, who last week we were talking about, hey, this is a team that can make a run. This is a team that, you know what, they got rid of their dead weight in their coach, and this is a team that can make a run. However, I will give them a little bit on this. You have no Lucarelli. He's not even on the roster. You have no Leal. He's not out there. Luka Basic is your best outside, scoring 20 points. But this was a classic Robert Landy Simone game. Like, send him back to Lube, right? Send him somewhere where he's going to be good. He was unreal. 17 for 24, 5 blocks, 3 aces. Once again, this is another game where Robert Landy Simone has more points than attempts. Just like last year, more points than attempts.
That is ridiculous. I will never get over that.
Yeah, Yuri Romano was painful in this one. He was 3 for 20. What is it? 9 for 30.
7 errors. Ouch.
Just not good out there. But on the other side, Siena, team effort. Daniele Mazzone, or no, sorry, that's not Mazzoni. Martin Van Garderen.
That's the one.
Julio Panali.
Panali?
Panali. Right? If I 23 for 50.
Panali. You can't be giving Panali 50 balls?
23 for 50.
Oh.
All right. Martin Van Garderen, 21 for 30. He was only blocked 1 time.
That's a masterclass. Right? Where did that come from?
Absolutely. So not only is Piacenza in a free fall because they can't figure it out offensively, where you've got Luka Basic and Robert Landy Simone leading the way, but you're also letting Martin Van Garderen go 21 for 30. That's a little bit disgusting. Your Romano has to be better. He has to be more impactful in games that don't matter. He has to be more impactful on a regular basis, and he has to be more consistent. Otherwise, this Piacenza team is going to lose, because right now, like, without Lucarelli and without Leal, they look bad. It doesn't matter if you have a middle dropping 25 points. You need to beat the worst team in the league, especially especially after just beating Trentino like that. The only other game was Perugia against Padova. We don't need to talk about that one. That was a quick 3-donging by Perugia, and really that's it. But look at these standings. Monza moves up into the playoffs. Verona drops down. Rob, sorry, I kind of took that over. What were your thoughts and feelings over this weekend's matches?
Dude, that ruled. Thank you for catching all the people up on that in such quick succession.